Hello, hello, hello. Yes, it's so good to be here with you and to connect finally. It's been a good long while, hasn't it, since the last one? I do apologize, but my wrist was so damaged and still is, to be fair, but I can actually type now, which I haven't been able to type for weeks. So I've still been able to see clients. I've still been able to help heal. I've still been teaching students, but I've not been able to type until this last week or so. So we finally have a transcript that I'm able to vlog with you guys today. SCHH just seems to have gone crazy, which is brilliant. But over the past 3 or 4 weeks, it's like the whole world is waking up to the fact that entities are an actual thing, that there are other dimensions around us that affect us, and that the beings in these other dimensions have the ability to attach to our energy centers and siphon our energy. And I went on a show in January called the Mark Atwood Show. And Mark was interviewing a group of us on a round table regarding entities. And since that particular round table that I did with him, it has gone so busy, which is brilliant because I've been beating this drum for a good long while, and I've always had a steady stream of people that need healing, but it really, really has exploded now. And so I'm very pleased that I've spent the last year teaching students all over the world, because now there are a team of us that are able to do this work. It's not just me. And it's not quite been a year yet since Soul Center Healing Hypnosis was created and rolled out. It was created a long time ago because I've been using it, but in terms of creating the actual training documents and rolling those out worldwide, it was April last year. And in that time, I have trained students, over 100 students all over the world, in America, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Africa, South Africa, all over Europe, all over the UK, multiple places that I've probably not mentioned. Haven't had anybody from China yet, though. But we've got a pretty decent coverage now worldwide, which is fabulous. And if any of you would like to book a session with either me or my clients, not my clients, because that's you, me or my students, then you could go to www.schhofficial.com. Right. So what have I got to tell you? There's been some funny old stuff happening in the Whitworth household. You may well remember me telling you that we got a kitten around about a year ago now, and we got the kitten to help restore the equilibrium in our garden because rats and mice had just become overrun. And this beautiful sweet kitten turned up, and she's been a house cat ever since she arrived, because you're apparently supposed to keep them in the house for the first year to get them accustomed to your environment before you let them out. And just recently, I noticed something was going on with her. And I was in the kitchen cooking one night, and she pootles in and she starts meowing constantly. Like normally she just meows a little bit, but she would not stop meowing. She's crouching down low on the floor, and it looks like she's dragging a back end. And I'm thinking, oh my God, is she eating one of the kids' Legos? What's going on? You know, all these sorts of things are going through your mind. And I remember at 9 a.m. on Christmas Day last year, I was pulling a piece of string out of her backside because she was literally dragging her back end all across the floor. So I'm thinking, has she swallowed some string again? Has she swallowed a Lego? What's going on? So I'm saying to my husband, what do you think's happening with the cat? And he says, oh, she's probably just swallowed something again. So I'm trying to help her by massaging her stomach, trying to help her to pass whatever it is that she's got stuck. And I couldn't see anything coming out. And I was like, I don't know what's going on. Then all of a sudden, she started to really meow quite ferociously. And she bit me and ran off. And I was like, Well, that's unusual. She's never bit me before. Maybe she's in pain. So then I go and check on her again, and she's just sat there with this rather satisfied look on her face. And I'm thinking, I just don't understand animals at all. I just don't get them. Anyway, later that night, it happened again and again and again. And I'm thinking, are we going to have to take her to the vets? So I did what we all do when we don't know what to do. I Googled it. Signs that your cat has an obstruction. I'm thinking, well, she's not got any of those signs. So I thought, I put in Google, what does it mean when my cat is meowing loudly and crouching on the ground? And then I got all of these videos pop up. Signs that your cat is in season, is in heat. I was like, in heat? What the hell is that? Anyway, I watched a few of these videos and I was like, you are kidding me. She's not even a year old and she's already wanting to mate. And so this beautiful, precious, sweet little kitten that we got, and I was horrified because I'm thinking, when she rolled over and bit me, and I was doing all that manipulating of her stomach, trying to help her pass that obstruction, did she think something was happening there? Was that a little love bite that happened before she ran off? And now she's following me around the house everywhere. Everywhere I go, she wants to be. And every time she comes anywhere near me, she's crouching low on the ground. And so in our house at the moment, we have a really, really grumpy hamster that doesn't want to talk to anybody, that is constantly being terrorized by the cat who wants to mate with it. Anybody that comes to the house, the cat is literally trying to mate with that particular person. All of the cuddly toys have the cat has attempted to mate with, and the dog is not happy because the cat keeps trying to start something off with the dog, and the dog's like, get away from me, I'm not interested. The kids are like, Mom, the cat keeps trying to mate with me. I'm like, oh God. It just adds another level and layer of spice to the Whitworth household that we're experiencing at the moment. Had another beautiful thing happen to me the other day. It was around about September time last year that I had to finally admit defeat and to employ a cleaner in my house. I've spent the past 17 years cleaning this house as well as everything else. And finally, I had to say, no, I need to give something away because I can't do it all. And since I've started teaching the children, I just can't keep on top of the housework as well, because you would do that before when the children were at school. And I am school now. I am the teacher. So I've had to employ somebody to come in and help me to maintain this crazy place. And I have a wonderful woman who I've grown very, very fond of, who is also an angel. She doesn't know it, but she is. And when I first met her, we were getting to know each other whilst we were both pottering around in the same space. And she was telling me about her dad, who was really poorly, who was dying of cancer. And I said to her, what kind of cancer is it? And she said, oh, it's cancer of the blood. And I said, so why is it that he wants to die? Why is it that he wants to leave? What is the reason that he's wanting to exit? And she looked at me and said, how do you know that? And so I proceeded to tell her a little bit. I didn't go full hog, but I told her a little bit about what it is that I do. And I said, cancer of the blood is normally the soul's quickest route out of this life because they don't want to be here anymore. And she explained that her dad had lost his wife and that they were very close, and that since then he didn't want to be here anymore, but that he'd had this epiphany and he decided that he did want to stay because since he'd remarried with the wife who has now moved on, they'd had a child, and this child was still fairly young, and he wants to be here for the child. So he was wanting to turn it all around. And so I said to Sally, this beautiful lady, well, if he wants to turn it around, I can help him. And I gave her a long list of things that he needed to do. And I said, and he needs to read this book. This is the Gerson diet. He needs to eat the foods that it explains for him to eat in this book, which is essentially organic foods and lots of juices. And he also needs to have some coffee enemas. That's part of the Gerson diet as well. And if he can do that, that will help him to turn around the physicality of the cancer. But he also needs to do some work with himself to let every single cell know, to reprogram these cells in his body to know that we're no longer emitting that frequency anymore of wanting to leave. We actually want to stay, and we want to be full of health and vitality. And that's what every single cell needs to radiate out now. And we didn't discuss it again for a good few months. And then 2 weeks ago, she came in and she was so happy. And I knew the second she came in, she'd got something big to tell me. And I said, what is it? And she said, you're not going to believe my dad. I said, tell me. She said, he looks fantastic. He looks absolutely fantastic. And he's been to the hospital and he's had a checkup. And the consultants have told him that there is no sign any longer of cancer in his blood. It's gone. And they've checked him out and they've said, actually, the only thing that is remaining that is an issue is there is nerve damage in his hands from the chemotherapy. So the thing that was actually given to him to help him is the only thing that's actually a problem now. But he'd been through all of that chemotherapy and it hadn't worked. And so he was in a process of accepting that he was going to exit. And that was when her and I had this conversation. So since then, he's been doing the things that I recommended and following the Gerson diet. And he has completely eradicated the cancer from his blood. And his hair has grown back. And he's looking fantastic. And she said that she went to his house the other day and he was putting up furniture. He was building furniture and he wouldn't have enough energy previously to even move. And she says every time she goes around, he's got some new wonderful organic meals that he's cooking and eating, and his daughter's thriving because he's thriving. And I just wanted to share that with you guys because I thought that was a really, really wonderful and uplifting example of what we can actually do as awakened and enlightened beings to help other people. And I've never met that man. I've never met him. I've met his daughter because she comes and helps me in my house, but I've never met that man. And through having a conversation and spending time with his daughter, that man has now been given his life back and he has a new lease of life. And so it just shows you what we can achieve when you take the time to listen to what other people are going through. And that makes me actually want to cry. But when you actually take the time to listen to what other people are going through and to help from the heart, it is amazing what can be achieved. So that's something that I'd like to pass out to everybody this week is look for those little areas where you can to help. Look for those little areas in other people's lives to bring some light to them. And we can all do that no matter what it is that we do. Been working with lots of people with very complex conditions, sleep apnea, narcolepsy, cataplexy, all sorts of phobias. And through the use of the soul center healing hypnosis technique, I've been able to take people to the root cause of these conditions and phobias. We've been able to look at the trauma, deal with it, pull it out, release it, and reprogram the mind so that people no longer have these conditions. You know, having feedback from clients that have narcolepsy, and for the first time ever, they are able to travel, to drive a 2-hour journey without falling to sleep. Having feedback from clients that have got sleep apnea, that for the first time, I don't know what's wrong with me today, I'm sorry, I just want to cry. My heart energy is just, my heart is so open this week. I don't know if you guys are feeling it the same, but my God, I just literally want to hug everybody that I come into contact with. What was I saying? Yeah, so, you know, feedback from clients who've got sleep apnea, that through finding the root cause of that sleep apnea was to do with a really traumatic dental episode that they had in this lifetime that caused friction between the conscious, subconscious and unconscious minds, that then stopped the body working correctly, so that the 3 parts of that person's psyche and self do not know who is supposed to be controlling the vehicle at any given time. You know, the depths of things that you can go into with hypnotherapy and in particular soul center healing hypnosis is incredible. It's absolutely fascinating. You can help anybody to heal anything, whether it's to do with entity release, whether it's to do with addiction, whether it's to do with current life trauma, whether it's to do with previous life trauma. It can all be healed within this technique. And today, I had a very interesting day today. I was mobile today for the first time in, well, a good long while, a very good long while. It's a client of mine that I've worked with for a long time. So I did not mind traveling to him because I've known him for a good while. We've worked together for a while. And this wonderful client, who I'm going to show you some of his work today, that he's gifted to me. He paints archangels. And we actually did a session today where we spent the entire session with the archangels, which was amazing. And this is one of the paintings that he has done, that he has gifted to me today. Now, the level, the depth of colour and intricacy that you can see in this painting, this particular camera does not do justice to it. It really, really doesn't. But no matter how you turn it, no matter where you look, you see something different. It is truly, truly, truly breathtaking. A little bit of polystyrene on there that has been stuck on it from the other gift that he gave me. But he's so talented. He's really, really talented. And he has a part of his multidimensional self, which is one of the archangels, and he channels all of the images of the archangels into his work. And it's a really, really high frequency piece, this. So this is going to be going up on the wall in my office. And if you would like to purchase any of his work, then you can contact him at lewisjbryant.crevado.com, lewisjbryant@gmail.com, and I will put the details of that in the body of this YouTube. But his work is superb. He's done me some artwork for some of my books as well. Very, very talented guy. And he also bought me one of my very, very favorite things. Bought me another dragon. Look at that. My dragon is white. So this is very, very special for me. And it's got an egg. I don't have a dragon that's got an egg. So this one is going to have pride of place in my workspace. And it's a beautiful one, that one, for all the people that love dragons. It's a really, really beautiful one. That one is, it's an Anne Stokes Age of the Dragons. That particular one, if you wanted to have a look at that and to get one of those. Right. Couple more things that I want to mention before I jump into the information. I have set up an Instagram page, finally gone on Instagram. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, I am Laura Whitworth SCHH. And I would really, really like some Instagram followers, please, because I'm Billy No Mates at the moment. I have a few, And those few that are following me are wonderful. But I would like to get some more. And I am posting daily on Instagram. So if you do want to know more about my work, it's often quicker and easier to post on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter than it is to record one of these videos, because I have to have some time to be able to record these videos. Also, as well, little update, I've created a Soul Center Healing Hypnosis SCHH official Facebook group. So if you are interested in my work, if you want to know more about Soul Center Healing Hypnosis, if you are looking at having a session, if you want to find out more about my practitioners, if you want to know more about the technique itself, if you would like to train, if you just follow my work and would like to get more frequent updates, then I would suggest joining that group, because again, I will be posting daily in that group. And also another bit of exciting news before I jump into today's information is I had a bit of an epiphany whilst I was injured and I couldn't type. I was looking back through all of my old transcripts that I have spent the past 3 years typing up in order to connect with you guys in this medium on YouTube. And I've spent literally 3 years since I've been doing YouTube typing this stuff up, and I've got hundreds and hundreds of transcripts of sessions detailing ascension information, detailing information about New Earth, detailing information about the shift, the split, inner Earth, fairies, dragons, galactic wars, ETs. And it just occurred to me that I need to put all of that together into a book and publish it. And as I've been looking back through all of the transcripts that I have physically typed out of sessions that I have physically conducted over the past 3 years whilst I've been doing this YouTube channel, there is incredible content in there. Now, I'm only going to be using the transcripts for the last 3 years because they are already typed, because I did them for the purposes of YouTube. I'm not going to be going back into my previous work because I haven't got time. There aren't enough hours in the day to do that. But with these transcripts that are already typed up, I intend to create a book, and I've already printed them off to see how big that book will be. And it's looking to be about that big currently of all of the information that I have gleaned over the years and typed up. So if that's something that interests you, watch this space. And I was thinking of calling it something like Finding New Earth Accounts of Ascension, something like that. If anybody's got any better titles, I would really be open to hearing those titles. But the main essence of the entire book or novel is going to be Ascension and New Earth and the split and Lightworkers and Galactics, but mostly Ascension. And if anyone's got any tips on how to settle down randy cats, I would also be very, very interested in your suggestions, please. Because I'd just like to get a decent night's sleep. I mean, if it's not the bloody husband snoring, it's the kids chuntering in the sleep, it's the bloody cat meowing for a tomcat in the middle of the night, I would just like to get some sleep. So please do give me all of your tips regarding settling down a cat that has got needs. And I don't want to get her fixed, because I've already seen that when I moved to the Soul Center Healing Hypnosis Ranch, that beautiful cat is going to be the head of the cat family. As soon as she gets to that new ranch, that new place, I'm going to let her have kittens, and she's going to sire me a whole boatload of guardians. That's what those cats are going to be. Guardians for spirit, guardians for souls. Cats see everything, and they alert you to everything as well. So, and they also help you keep the mice problem in beautiful harmony. So yeah, I don't want to get her fixed. I just want to know what to do to calm her down. There must be something. Right, I need to stop waffling now. I do apologize. Okay, so today's session for me was superb. And this lady, I remember in this session how much I enjoyed it. And I chose this one to transcribe because I put a pin in it to go back and look at this one. And as I was transcribing it yesterday, I thought, God, that was a really, really good session. So here we go. So I've taken her to the point where she is melding with a part of her multidimensional self or going into a past life. And I ask her, tell me what you see or experience. I flew through the door like flying head first, and I feel like I can see a galaxy like the Milky Way. It's blue and red, and it has a sorrel, and I'm curious about it. Let's go ahead and move closer to that galaxy. And as you do, I want you to tell me what you notice. I notice a large planet to my left, a reddish planet. I'm still flying around. As you fly around, notice the planets. Tell me more about what you experience. It's drawing me in. I can feel a magnetic pull, trying to kind of get my feet back on firmness. I'm still flying around, but it is pulling me in. Allow that magnetic pull to call you back to the place that you need to be. I'm looking at my mantis. I've seen him before. It's a giant praying mantis being. Tell me more about this mantis. It's a male. He doesn't speak. He's very tall, maybe 9 feet tall. He's very gentle and kind and uses his big mantis head to nod. I know what he is thinking as we have telepathic communication. And as you connect to him in that telepathic way, what message does he have for us today? He wants to show me something, and I feel like I'm looking out of the window of a big black screen now, looking out to the sky. I wasn't on a spaceship at first, but now I am, and I'm looking at a big black screen looking out to the sky. I still have a floaty feeling though. He wants me to take a journey on this craft. I'm sitting in the control seat and I'm not sure where we are going. I always feel really excited at that point because the possibilities of where you could go, what you could see, what you could do. I love this job. And I would recommend everybody, if this kind of thing lights you up inside, I'd recommend to everybody to do it. As you look around in this place and as you sit in that control seat, tell me more about the controls of that seat and what it involves. I'm not the driver. I'm to the right of the driver currently. It's my mantis. And he's not holding anything, but he's showing me how to move quickly from one universe to another. Not with controls. It's with our mind, with thought. Tell me about that. He tells me that I need to think where I want to be and we can be there. And I feel a little confused by that. So I'm looking around to see who else is there. And they are all kind of laughing. There's beings around and they are laughing at me, at the newness of me not knowing what I am doing in this place. And they are just telling me to think about where I want to go. And as I look out of the window, I can see Earth on the other side. So I'm definitely not on Earth. And I'm not on another planet. Now, normally in sessions when somebody sees a red planet and there's a mantis involved, normally, in my experience, what is about to unfold is normally about Mars. And from what she says next, I do feel that she's talking about Mars. But you guys all listen to this information and read into it and see what you think. If you focus on your point of perception, if you look down at yourself, Allow yourself to see your form. Tell me more about what you look like. I have a blue jumpsuit, light blue jumpsuit on, and I feel humanesque. My head is shaped a little bit like the mantis, but it's not mantis. And I am female. Very good. And this mantis, you say that he wanted to show you somewhere today. Tell me more about that. Where is it that we need to see? I see a red planet out of the window, and I am curious about the red planet. And he tells me we can go there. And I feel the motion of moving towards it. What do you experience as you move towards that red planet? Joy and wonder of the freedom of moving so fast by thinking. And I'm curious what this planet is. And I am familiar with the word Alcyone. And I know that that's a part of the Pleiades. He nods to me, yes, that Alcyone is a familiar place for me. I didn't get the impression that she was talking about Alcyone being the red planet, but that was just my own personal take on it. This is what I ask next. And this red planet, how do you feel that this red planet connects to Alcyone? I've been here before, and it's a place of origin. There's family there, but not current family. I don't know what I did there. I'm still on this spaceship, so she's very somnambulistic. Yes, okay. In a moment, as I count backwards from 3 to 1, I want you to condense time and move to the point in time where you connect with this planet that you are viewing, and for you to tell me what you see and experience. I'm collecting samples of the ground here on the red planet. I'm curious about the colour of the planet. It's like I'm collecting rocks and soil, and I'm going to be testing it. There's something wrong with the soil. It's more rocky, really, than soil. I'm very tall. I'm this same woman, female. And as you consider that there is something wrong with the soil, tell me more about that. What do you feel is the issue with the soil that has brought you there today? It's lacking all of the nutrients that are needed in order to grow food. I don't know what we eat, but I see a meadow. What would have been a meadow with tall grasses and vibrant green. And instead, all I see is this rocky red soil. Life has stopped growing on this planet. It's no longer a safe, inhabitable planet to live on. And life has stopped growing on this planet. What happened that stopped life growing on this planet? It feels like a big energetic bomb hit the planet and changed the entire vibration of the planet so that the density dropped dramatically, killing much of the life forms that were on the planet, and it was a mad dash to leave. We knew that the energy ball was coming, so there was preparations being made. And there is no danger of it being energetically hit again, as whoever did this accomplished what they wanted, as we had to leave this place, this absolutely beautiful place that was lush and green and smelled like flowers. Now it's dead. It's like it's radioactive. The density is heavy. It feels radioactive. So we have to be careful with the samples that we are taking. And you say that the people that launched this energetic bomb got what they wanted. Tell me more about that. How did these beings get what they wanted? My people were a very peaceful people. And in a sense, I want to say this was a collective of people that were masters of the universe. They had a hand in building and creation and peace treaties. And it does feel like a dark energy And these other beings, these dark beings, did not want us to do this. I see a white web, like a spider web, but it's crystalline, and it's connecting planets and universes in a way that we could communicate. And they did not like that. They did not like the communication, because in that way, we could let others know that there was peace and freedom. And they wanted to control other people's planets and galaxies. So they broke the crystalline web, the connections. When they hit the planet, it stopped all of the web of light and communication. Yes, tell me how that felt when that connection was disconnected. Physically laying here, I had a feeling of leaving my body, like a floaty feeling, as if the magnetic attraction on the planet was lifted. So we were forced off of it. And I'm trying to understand the sense of feeling that I have in my body right now, but it's like a floating feeling, like there was nothing there holding us to that planet anymore. A feeling of abandonment is the word, grief, loss, and all of that data was lost. All of the data from those connections, and we lost communication with everybody else. And I feel like the mantis were the beings who were part of the help who came to our rescue. Allow yourself to consider that in a deeper way and tell me more about it. I really feel myself floating. It's quite incredible what I'm feeling in my body right now. Well, this mantis, he's been with me before. And somehow I landed in this particular spaceship with him once we left the planet. And I'm asking him what my role was in that. And I feel like my hands had power. Like if I was wiping a chalkboard, like the motions of that moving, I feel like my hands had a power, an energy, connected me to much more than just my planet, but to others. I had friends in other galaxies and other people. Allow yourself to consider the power in the hands. I would feel through the crystalline web which planets and people, what their energy was, and using that sense of energy, I could reach out through the web and let them know that we were there. We could be a lifeline. And I think through that web, that information was sent like a map. And the mantis are the ones who would retrieve others. But I'm seeing a map and I'm being reminded of whales. It's like the magnetic grid is what whales follow in the ocean that we cannot see, but they know is there. It's like it was that way in the universe. This crystalline light grid is how we tracked each other. And there were different paths and different waves of explorers like the mantis who would follow these energetic grids to get to the planets and the different people, the people that needed aid. I was a map. I helped with mapping. Yes. And how did it feel when this was disconnected and this connection was severed? At first, of course, it was very sad to lose the planet, to lose home. But then there was this incredible unification that happened, because this spaceship that I'm on, I can look around and see that there are so many different types of life forms of what would be people and non-people. I see, for example, what would be an African man who is human, but he's not a human. And I see a very small, short, little person, but it's a different type of person. And we all came together because of that destruction, and it was happening everywhere. And so then I was in the control seat, trying to find the threads of the crystalline map after the explosion, as they were broken and disconnected. And I'm using my knowing to find them. And everyone on the ship is very happy as I'm trying to help them find their place of origin too. Because without the map, it's hard to find home. Many homes were destroyed. Many people were lost without their own kind. Tell me what it was that caused this destruction. You said many places were affected by this explosion. I want to say Draco, but I am seeing a dragon type being instead of a reptile. But here now in this life, I have a spirit guide that is a dragon. So I know that dragons are good. But these were dragon-like creatures who wanted to control and have power. And when they took over the power, they used this blast of energy, not to blow the planet up, but to kill the life forms so that the life forms would leave, so that they could then mine those planets for the minerals. That's what I'm doing now with the soil. I'm identifying what is in the soil. What is the mineral that they wanted, as this was a form of energy for them? What do you feel was the mineral that they were mining? Iron. That's the mineral they wanted. On my planet it was. What did they do with it? How did they use it? It feels like it was used to be a part of a shield, that they could create shields around their planet, or maybe even their ships. It created an iron shield, but it wasn't red as a shield. It was invisible. And using these shields that was made from the iron and minerals, you could not see them in the sky when they came. It gave them invisibility. Every planet has different minerals and keys. The key that they came for on our planet was for the minerals of iron and potassium. And it was for this shield. That's what they used it for. And they needed many shields so that they could move undetected as they moved through the galaxy. And after they destroyed the connection to this crystalline web, this interconnectedness of the galaxy, how did this affect other places that were still connected to this crystalline web? We stopped evolving as a people. We stopped advancing. They didn't know. Those who were still connected didn't know. They couldn't figure out why we didn't respond anymore, but they didn't know what was happening. So those civilizations, until they were rediscovered, were kind of living in a bubble. They still advanced and grew, but it was a disconnected advancement, as we all helped each other to advance and grow before. They just thought we had stopped responding and didn't know why. Not every people on the different planets had the ability to move outside of their own solar system. So for those who only felt the disconnect, they continued in their own world on their own for a time until the darkness came for them, if they found them. But not all were found, and some are still disconnected. There is a person in this life that I know of, and he is connecting the grids on our Earth by reigniting the pyramids. And when he does this, I think our planet's own grid line will come online again on planet Earth. And when that happens, we will once more become detectable again on planet Earth by the other planets and places connected in the crystalline grid who had previously lost us. Tell me what will happen when we become detectable again. I'm not sure that many Earth people will understand that this has happened, but there will be a light that comes off of the Earth that is so bright, it looks like the lights have been turned on. And for those who have thought we left them, they will know that we did not. It's just the power was out. And then they will know that it is safe to come home, safe to communicate. And those who can interdimensionally travel or travel across the solar system will reach out to us. And those who don't have the ability to travel will be able to connect and just connect from light source to light source. They will know that we did not leave them. Earth is a big, bright star that others relied on. We have more minerals than any planet combined, and so we have to protect it. Tell me more about Earth. How does Earth fit into this crystalline web? Even those who are dark on the planet at this time hold a light inside of them that they don't remember is inside. Humans on Earth have forgotten. When this grid comes back on, they will start to remember. And those of us who are light workers, who are connected to the light, when this grid comes back on, we are going to feel a power that is unbelievable. It is going to be so energetically uplifting. What was it that caused Earth to become disconnected from this crystalline web? It started thousands and thousands of years ago, and at first it was very strategic and slow. And I'll call them Earthlings and Galactics fought back by putting the pyramids on the planet. They put the pyramids on the planet to re-radiate the planet as the light had started to go out. Because Earth can naturally do it on her own, but we put the pyramids on the planet to create a network of light to support Earth. And as the dark had found us and energetically bombed out each one, as the pyramids went out each one, the people in those areas turned angry and vengeful. And I can see pictures of a looting of the pyramids as they didn't understand what the pyramids were. The pyramids were a much greater source than the physical treasures of what were inside. Earth's magnetic force was knocked out over the years, and it is finally now time to reignite the light. Many of us here on Earth are here for this. It is the greatest show on Earth. And how will we know when we have reconnected back into that crystalline grid of light? When those of us who are doing the work, meditate and connect to our higher selves, the sense of lightness will be more enhanced. The knowing will flow in as the light will be brighter and stronger. Many people's psychic abilities will become very enhanced, and this will scare a lot of people who aren't ready. So the light workers will have to share that. We have to learn to communicate that it is okay to see more by just being in peace and in the calmness of the light. It's like putting your sunglasses on a sunny day. You can be in the light, but you can shade it to a degree that it is not overwhelming. Is there anything else that we need to know today about this? I have visions of the oceans and the waters, and I'm not sure what that means, but I feel like there is a greater sense of us protecting the oceans on Earth right now, as the oceans absorb the light. I have a sense of the planet heating, but the oceans will shift when the light comes in. The oceans will transmute it, just like the analogy of the sunglasses. But the planet will become so vibrant. It will be so vibrant. And how will the people be changed by this light? Some will be confused by the emotions they will feel that they didn't want to feel and may continue on their paths of addiction to block it. Others will be jovial and jubilant. Everyone will know on a more intuitive basis. When you pass someone like you, we will pass the light. We will be a part of the light grid. Every human is a part of that crystalline grid in a tiny microscopic way. So each human actually heals and works in ways that they don't even realize, as they are magnetically bound to the center of the planet. So from the core out and across and back in, we are like energetic boomerangs, the inner to the outer to the inner, and it heals the entire planet. We don't even know our power. We are healing the earth to its core by being the light. Wow. So that was an absolutely phenomenal session. And I wanted to spend a good longer while in there asking a gazillion more questions, but we didn't have time because we had the higher self to bring through, we had entity release to do, but that is the lion's share of the information that was in that particular session. And I loved that. I absolutely loved that we are helping to heal the entire planet by being an energetic boomerang, by having our light on the surface, and by being magnetically connected to the core of the planet. We are passing the light and healing the whole planet. And that's one of the things that we do in Soul Center Healing Hypnosis. We take people's entities off them, clean up their energy bodies, and we reconnect them back to the core of the planet and bring all of that beautiful energy all the way back through the energy centers. Then we connect to source and we bring all of that source light energy all the way down the energy centers, so that your client is completely and utterly energetically overhauled, upgraded, and cleansed. So that's all I have for you this week. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram, which is Laura Whitworth, SCHH. If you do watch my videos, but you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, which many people do, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. You don't have to pay anything. It's free. All of this stuff is free. There is no charge. Just please subscribe, and then you're going to be notified of any videos that I do share. And also as well, if you are interested in getting more details on my work, and I post weekly, daily updates regarding the types of cases that I've had, the different phobias, addictions, fears, entities, and the different things that are going on with the energy centers in people's bodies, up-to-date ascension information, please do join the Soul Center Healing Hypnosis SCHH official group on Facebook, which is managed by myself. As always, it's been wonderful to connect with your energy. I love each and every one of you, and hopefully I will get to meet each and every one of you personally soon. Until the next time I see you guys, make sure that you keep vibrating high. Until next time, everybody, bye.